Now, yeah, come on, that is your answer, right?
Yes, these are my answers.
So here you said letter D, but we need to know why not A.
Hmm. Let's see. Hmm. Hello.
Do you have a notebook to write some structures like that? Complete sentence, semicolon, complete sentence, that is full stop correct. It's called the structure of sentence. When you see a semicolon, before and after it must be sentence, not fragment.
Okay.
So the affirmation after semicolon, it's only one, the subject, Uncle Sam. So what happened? There is no subject verb complete thought in the sentence after. So it's wrong. And we know for full stop, it's the same. Must be complete sentence. As you know, just like semicolon equals full stop period. This means both of them is wrong. But we have
Yes.
another problem. Why C is wrong? Because we have common mistakes, as you know, in English, like that. Complete sentence, comma, complete sentence. It is wrong. But the problem, how did you know it's a complete sentence? We find the subject, we find the verb, and check the complete meaning. You remember that?
Hmm. Yes.
So now it's your turn. Is this a smart sentence or not?
What?
Is this part?
Smart sentence?
Is it sentence?
Huh?
Is this part a sentence from it to the end?
It was Uncle Sam. Yes, it is a part of a sentence.
Now, is it sentence or not?
Hmm?
Is it sentence or not?
Uncle Sam, no.
Now I'm talking about the part in C, not the word Uncle Sam. Here, its subject was verb, and then complement for this part. So it is complete sentence. And how about before?
Before a complete sentence.
How did you know?
Hmm. Because you said it was a complete sentence.
Complete sentence means it has subject, it has verb, it has complete thought. Okay, my friend. Now I'm going to
Oh,
share. This is chapter from the beginning. Let's revise some notes.
okay.
And I'm going to send you the book, don't worry.
Okay.
Do you remember phrases in English?
Huh?
Do you remember phrases?
Not too much.
Let's know more about phrases. So in English, we have 6 or 7 phrases. We'll study some of them today. Number one, it's called the preposition phrase. We know it from the name. Preposition, start with preposition. Participle, you know participle, present participle or past participle, like that. Gerund, as you know, it means verb plus ing, so it's a phrase. Infinitive, it starts with infinitive. Positive, positive, as you know, just like additional information. But what is a phrase? A phrase, a piece of information in the sentence. So a single part of a speech. And the subject and verb is not in any phrase. So the phrase does not contain both as a verb or it's a subject. That means when I tell you it's a phrase, it has no subject or verb. It's a phrase, a piece of information in the sentence, but not a sentence. So the phrase is not a sentence. Now let's revise them in details. Very important to know that how can we know the phrase? From the beginning to the end. It means the start of the phrase, the end of the phrase. The start from the name, it's up. But how about the end? How can I know the end? I can know it from the full stop. I can know it from the verb. So the full stop, or the comma, or the verb, or the adverb can tell you about the end of the phrase. Exactly, you have verb. So your phrase starts from here and stop there. So this part only called the prepositional phrase. That's all. So that means you must memorize all the prepositions. Among, between, circa, amid, according to, know more about the preposition. So easy. When I found the preposition, I found the preposition phrase. Here, so at the end. So it's so easy to know. Look like that, like that. Here again, here again. So the preposition tells you about. This is preposition phrase, very easy. Now, how about preposition phrase in the middle? In the middle, at the end, at the beginning, we don't care. But we care about the beginning and the end. Here, preposition. So I take and I find the verb. So stop. So this is preposition phrase. We call it in English adjective preposition phrase because normally adjective modifies noun or pronoun. So if the phrase comes after noun or pronoun, it modifies it. If you change the position, you change the meaning. For example, everyone had experience on my soccer team. So this is different from everyone on my soccer team.
Yes.
Here make it specific, not any everyone general in English. No, my soccer team only. Here again the same. So the preposition phrase modifies the noun before or pronoun because it's adjective. Here again, look, in the middle, stop the verb, modifies floor, modifies the fly. So easy. Here we have a lot of exercises and I will send you the book with answers. Adverb preposition phrase. We call it a prepositional phrase, but it modifies verb or adjective or adverb. It comes after one of these. I call it adverb. So just check the meaning. The beginning, the end, it comes after late. So it tells you late for what?
Late.
The adverb
Oh.
can be at the beginning followed by comma.
Yes.
Remember the comma. Anything about comma very important. If the phrase comes at the beginning, you need comma before you start your sentence. So imagine it like that. Phrase or phrases, comma, and then start your sentence. Preposition phrases. You need comma. This comma is necessary. This comma is necessary. Why? To tell you the beginning of the sentence, not to confuse the reader. That's important to know the beginning and the end. The beginning here, the end here. So the comma must be here, not there, not there. Very important. This preposition phrase at the end, we don't need comma before. Look. So if it comes in the middle or at the end, we don't need comma. At the beginning, you need comma. So here it's unnecessary, but here it's necessary at the beginning. This is called the phrases, how the writer structure, build, engineer. Again, look.
Yes.
During the last century, preposition phrase, and then subject and then verb. In this example, we have exception. Exception called in English. If the preposition phrase does not confuse the reader to know the subject and verb, you can delete the comma. That's why here we don't have comma. Because this is preposition phrase does not confuse the reader to know the subject.
Yes.
That means it's optional. And this option does not work for your test. This option is not working in your test. So we always need comma before your, because we will not give you simple sentence like that. It will be long. If it's long, you need comma. Look again, we don't have comma. Look, don't have comma. Don't have comma. That's why. So this is like the structure. Now
Okay.
let's see about the questions of modifier in writing. If we change the position, we change the meaning. So both of them correct. So what is needed in the test? We will give you the meaning. We check the meaning. In the paragraph, in the passage, what do we need? What do we mean? Here about bowl of soup or full of soup, what's that? Here bowl of soup was full. So we tell you what kind of bowl, which is specified for soup only. But here any bowl can be full of soup. Not specified here.
Yeah.
So just like simple one. So very important to know the phrase. Simple in English, you can have many phrases in order. Why not? Look at one, then two, three, have millions. No problem. Here about participles. In English, we have present participle, past participle. Present, because it has verb plus ing, and past because verb plus ed. But you know in English that the participle works as or function as adjective, and the adjective modifies noun or pronoun. So imagine it like that. If you start a sentence with present participle phrase like that, you need comma. Remember the rules of comma. You need comma before you start the sentence.
Okay.
That's why. Imagine it like that. It's a verb. Who did it? Subject. As we answer in the test, what does this information refer to? We need you to find the subject. Because the problem is to find the subject and verb. If you found it, everything is finished. Again, all the dented circuit, it's adjective to the noun. It's not verb. Why we use comma between two adjectives? Rules. But why we need comma here? Because it's a present participle, because we have a sentence. Look. That's all. Let's try. Adjective to the noun. Look, adjective to the noun. Here again, adjective. Here, adjective. It's not verb, it's used as an adjective. So easy to know.
Mm.
Present participle phrases. We have three positions for any phrase. At the beginning, followed by comma, start the sentence. In the middle, you can use two commas or no commas. In the middle, you need commas or no commas, like essential, non-essential, or divided. Like that, this one, subject, phrase, so subject, phrase, verb, complements, full stop, correct. In the middle, you can add phrases or clauses to modify something before. So news not reported by itself, which were reported, which is reported, which are, don't care, which is. So we delete which and is. So we will find the verb. So this information modifies the news. Is open fictitious. So complements, the same structure. You need comma because this is verb, because this is sentence. That's all. Now test the meaning. Test the meaning. Catcher. Who was donning? The catcher. He said her, so it's a human, not game. So the modifier. Now let's check the structure. Look, comma, subject. You feel it? Remember, it can be present participle or past participle. So we were given all facts. So when we were given, we reach it. So because of the facts, we find. In the middle, no commas. Why no commas? Because it's essential. You cannot delete it. It affects the meaning if deleted. So easy as you remember with the structure. Look, the phrase at the end, you need comma. And sometimes no. You need comma. Why? Because this is verb is done by the subject is she. If you delete the comma, this verb is done by the word before. So who remember? Who remember the house or she? It's a she. So
Mm.
if a house, you don't need comma. Simple.
Oh.
Look, you have comma. You need second comma. Right? Let's jump. Course meaning exercises. We have the I know it quickly because I found the subject agrees with the verb in meaning and number and journey. So it helps. Again, some people confusing. They don't confuse the potato. They were confusing. So comma and verb. It checks the meaning, people, subject, verb, agreement, and meaning and everything. So the comma in the correct place. So your eyes on the position of the comma and the existence of commas, of course. Very important.
Okay.
It's almost too common like that. Non-essential who don't care. Of course, we have a lot of examples. Now for the gerund. The gerund in English, as you know, it's a verb plus ing. But the gerund works as noun, not like present participle. No. Here, gerund can be subject. Why not? So it's a subject swimming exercises. So gerund can be subject, yes. It's a noun.
Yes.
Subject can be noun. Here again, before running, so it's a preposition. And I will send you notes, by the way, for all of this. How to know the gerund? The gerund can be subject. Look, it can be complement. Complete the subject. Can be subject again. It can be after verb. Why not as an object? After preposition, object of a preposition. It can be. Works as noun, but present participle works as an adjective. An adjective modifies noun. That's all. Now let's revise. The writers invent a gerund phrase. It's from the name, gerund, like that. And the phrase. But the problem, do we need comma? No, of course. Why? Because if you put comma here, you separate the object of the sentence from the verb, and this wrong. So for the gerund phrase, we don't use commas. We don't use any punctuation, not only commas. Like that, if you put comma here, you separate. Grown of what exactly? Separate the preposition phrase from what modifies. And this is the subject. How can I separate it from the verb by comma? Cannot. So no comma is used in a gerund because it's a noun. And of course, you know it from the verb plus ing. Look after verb. Look, subject. So remember, gerund can be subject. It comes in the test. Look, sweater is. The sweating is not fun. Not go in there, go be fun. Here, example, achieving. You see, gave. So the achievement, which gave, not the score. So achievement in subject. Imagine it. That is a point. Now, of course, here about the gerund. The gerund can be long or short, it depends on the item. Of course, here we have a lot of exercises. Another one, like revision, to know the difference between them, the difference between the participle. Look, I always love. You love what? Love. I love what? I love skiing. So skiing is object. So it's object. So it's a gerund. But look here, I hurt my ankle. Present participle is just like a new clause. So I hurt my ankle when I was skiing. But we don't write when I wear to make it shorter as much as we can. This is present participle. The question is why we don't have comma? Because it's essential, important to the meaning. To tell you why I hurt my ankle. How? When skiing. But if you have comma here, it means it's not essential to the writer, to the meaning of the sentence. Here is skiing, a gerund. Okay. But this is the verb of the sentence already. Yeah, why not? Of course, the participle can be verb. As you know, present continuous tenses. Continuous tense, present or past or future. So be careful. Of course, here, look, the object, complement for the subject, So now the problem is, what is the problem? The choosing, not the different. Choosing is a problem. What is fun? The eating, the style of eating is here again. After dinner, feeling happy and full. We were. Who was feeling? We, not the dinner. This is preposition phrase. Look, present participle phrase at the beginning to describe the subject after. Why we have comma here? Because we start with preposition phrase. As I told you, preposition phrase, comma, start the sentence. The writer,
Hello?
Hmm. The writer wants.
Hello?
I'm here. Do you hear? I'm hearing. Hello. Omar, do you hear me?
My internet disco.
Crazy. I feel for you, yes. Internet connection. Now let's revise. Sentence number 5. Why we have comma here? Because the writer starts the sentence.
Wait, how did we go to number 5?
Yeah, we have number 5 now. We have comma here. Why? Because the writer starts with.
No, are you sure? No, you were number 2 a couple things ago.
Yeah, number 2 here, the problem is the subject. So choosing the gerund as a complement to complete the meaning. What is the problem in choosing?
Okay.
What is the fun? Eating. So we need to find the subject. Again, for this part.
So,
After dinner preposition phrase, you need comma. Now the writer wants to start the sentence with present participle phrase, comma, and then sentence. So why not? Here, present participle phrase, and this is phrase modify the subject, and the subject verb is in complements. No problem. Don't think that the dinner is feeling. No, describe the subject of the sentence because this is a preposition phrase. So comma for preposition phrase, comma for present participle phrase. So we need two commas. Look, comma after the phrase, after the phrase. Why? Because we have a sentence after. Here it's a gerund. Here it's a subject to the verb. That's why here buying subject and here verb. Look for this one, we have comma before the phrase because this is a subject. So the sentence, comma, and then present participle phrase. And remember the structure. This is common structure is the test. Because we test you, who did this action? The room or the little boy? The subject of the sentence who did this action. If it is, you need comma. If it's the room, you don't need comma. So be careful. Here again, two commas, of course, are non-essential. Now, why we don't have comma here? Because it's a gerund, subject, and it's the verb. Here we have sentence and then present participle. Look, present participle, comma, subject. Here it can be present participle because we have sentence after the comma. Here we don't have sentence is verb. That is a subject, so you don't need comma. Because if you put comma here, you separate the subject from the verb. That's a common mistake. So take care. That was my dear. Now it is the same look, the same structure. Do we have subject? Yeah, because it is present participle. It check the meaning. Who was sorting through? We. Who found? We. So the subject did two actions. Yes, because there are two clauses. When we were sorting through, we found. So we have two clauses. That's why. The next phrase, it's called the infinitive. And you know infinitive, 2 plus verb. That's all. But to check, is it verb or not? So easy. And of course, the infinitive can be everywhere in the sentence. It can be in subject. It can be, remember, the infinitive can be subject. Look, to succeed, the subject. So what is the special goal of mine? To succeed, not math. To succeed. So it succeed infinitive, and the infinitive can be subject, yes. Of course, it can be object or direct object, depends on the writer. So be careful. That's why, because it comes in the test to concentrate is. So it's not an hour. Concentrate, it's challenge. Of course, writers invent infinitive phrase. Infinitive, that is phrases the words
To
after.
leave.
Yes. Do we need commas? You don't need comma because
No.
how can I use comma here? You separate the verb from the rest. Look. But can we use something like that? Infinitive phrase, comma, subject, yes. Because the phrase is additional information. Yes, of course. Do we have subject and verb? Yes. Who did this action? The subject. Who is going to prevent the audience from becoming bored? Subject.
Shakespeare.
Check the meaning and everything. Do we need comma? Necessary. Again, why we don't have comma here? Because this is a subject already. Here it's different. We have complete sentence. So what can be a great pleasure? What is the pleasure? To see, not the game.
Yes.
So be careful. Comma necessary. Infinitive and infinitive phrase have revision. Can find it. Now verbal phrases, as you remember, participle, past participle. And here past participle, no commas. Why there is no commas? Essential. Why we don't have comma? Because it's a gerund. And why we don't have comma? Because it modifies the planning. How can I separate the meaning? So be careful. As you know here, past participle, you need comma. So check the meaning. What is consumed hot or cold by? Coffee. So past participle, not coffee consumes itself or consumes something else. And remember, everything depends on the meaning of the sentence, not your knowledge, not your sense, not your culture, evidence. So here we population consume the coffee. Because I can say the coffee consumes my mind. It can be, but this is not mentioned there. Again, we need to test here. Who is investigating? So here's the verb. I'm asking who or what is investigating? The subject after the comma.
Yes.
Check meaning. Called
Cat.
tested the verb. Why? To investigate. So it
Investigate the ghost.
so the phrase at the beginning correct, the comma in the correct place, we have complete sentence. That's all. Okay. Of course, many questions.
No,
And then
I don't have any.
now the last one, very important. Appositives. It's from the meaning appositive. You add details in the sentence to help the reader. Here we have two commas. Why? Because it's non-essential. Because we know already what means helping. Here it's difference. Why? Here non-essential. Why? Because I have already one brother, so you know him. But when I tell you my father, oh, of course I have one. So why should I make it essential? Essential if it confuses the reader. Like that, Cesar's brother. Which one? He has more. So you must make it essential. So commas means non-essential. Non means a comma, non-essential. It means if you delete it, does not affect the meaning. But if you have comma, you need second comma. Of course, it depends on the writer, and we will practice today. This is called in English phrases. What phrases? A positive phrase. We have a lot in the test, and we will test you with many phrases. Why? Because the apostrophe phrase, you don't know it by structure, you know it by meaning. Like that, strela, two commas, verb. So the phrase, apostrophe phrase, it's like any phrase. Can be at the beginning, followed by comma, necessary. In the middle, commas or no commas. At the end, it can be. So here again, what is that? Student. So the appositive is student. And the rest of the information, the phrase. So all of it, a positive phrase. We need comma before we start the sentence. This comma is necessary. Look, comma. Look, two commas in the middle. It can be at the end, of course. I have a lot of examples. Again, Jeremy, subject. And then
Yes.
a positive is. So if you don't know who or what is Jeremy, he tells you student. It's a singular. And it's male or female. I don't know, he's a student. But you know, the appositive, it tells you meaning and structure. Again, 3 balls of platter. I don't know what it means, but he said best work. So it's best work. Now, is this part the singular or plural? Examples. Plural, of course. How did you know we have the verb? So agreement with the subject and agreement with the positive. Because we will test you in agreement, singular, plural. It's called about a positive phrase. That's in English means phrases. So to know, remember, to know, this is the only and the last rule in English. To know the subject and the verb in English, delete all the phrases. Delete all the relative clauses. Delete the non-essential information. To know the subject and verb, delete all the phrases. Delete all the relative clauses. Delete the non-essential information, and then check what is left. Let me practice a question. Number 1, I must check, is this part sentence or not? Simply find the phrases and delete it. I must read preposition phrase, and then past the participle phrase. Look, and then comma, look, issue, subject, preposition phrase, verb, preposition phrase, preposition phrase. What is left? Portrait, issue, became. From the beginning to the end before, you found it like that. Phrase, comma, subject, verb, complement. So what is kind of phrase here? A positive to tell you what is the issue. Imagine it. That's what I'm telling you about it. To find the subject and verb easily. So the subject is issue, the verb is became. But wait, why do we have comma? A positive phrase. Comma. Why we have commas? Numbers, as you know, conventional rules. So delete phrases, delete relative clauses, delete non-essential, check the rest. If the rest has subject and verb, it's a sentence. If not, it's not. So it's a fragment. So to the semicolon, it's complete. But after semicolon, it's not. So the second part, it's not. Why it's not? Because it has subject only. Uncle Sam, okay, what happened? What is the verb in the second part? So only 2 words. Without thinking it's wrong. So full stop equals semicolon, both of them wrong. How about letter C, common mistake? Why? Because all the personal pronoun subject, remember, all the subjective pronoun subject, I, he, she, it, subject was verb. So we have subject, we have verb, we have complements. It's a simple sentence. Remember again, Amr, in writing. If I tell you sentence, I mean any sentence, simple, complex, compound, Depends on the writer. Here it is simple. Why not? So complete, comma, complete wrong, common mistake. But today we practice phrases. Again,
Okay.
I'm looking for phrases only. In addition to compound the preposition. So preposition phrase. And then preposition phrase. In preposition phrase. And then full stop. Wrong. Full stop must be preceded by complete subject and verb. After deleting the phrases,
Can be comma.
I found all of them phrases only. That means there is no subject or verb. So without thinking, wrong, semicolon, wrong, calling, wrong. Why? Because calling must be preceded by complete sentence, like semicolon. So the first part has mistake. So delete it. But wait, why D correct? The writer start with phrases, comma, and then sentence. Correct? Where is the sentence, subject and verb? And then phrases to complete the meaning. Ah, that means he want to start. So we need comma. What kind of phrases? Prepositional phrases. You can use any phrase. Talking about any phrase and any number of phrases.